So welcome to New Jersey Institute of Technology and welcome to Newark for those of you who are traveling in today. My name is Tom Motika. I'm the Executive Director of the Smart City program here at New Jersey Innovation Institute, and I'll serve as your MC this afternoon. Let me start by thanking you all for coming to hear about the partnership and the program we have with Newark in partnership. I'm confident you will find the next hour or so is time well spent. And we will kick this off with a brief video. I'd ask that you please listen in, look at the screens on the left and right.
Those words from President Barack Obama launched the Smart Cities Initiative, a landmark investment in federal research and technology to help cities around the country thrive in the 21st century. Newark is working to become one of those cities. For the New Jersey Innovation Institute, the work begins now. Together, with our member institutes, we're unlocking powerful new solutions in safety, energy, climate preparedness, transportation, health, and more to improve the lives of our residents, workers, and visitors. Newark is New Jersey's test bed for a smart city. We're creating a network of connected devices, smart sensors, and big data analytics connecting the people of Newark to each other and to the world. Newark 3.0 is poised to become a global leader. The New Jersey Innovation Institute is proud to join more than 20 city-university collaborators launching the MetroLab network. Together with industry, academia, and public entities, we're developing, deploying, and testing smart infrastructure products and solutions in a real city environment.
The MetroLab network is a national network. I think it's a phenomenal network. And in our case, our very important partnership with Newark, we become the R&D function for the city of Newark. So as the city of Newark looks to improve, we serve that role in assisting them.
This will be a terrific and diverse ecosystem of innovators and higher education, improving Newark and making it smarter. This is about economic vitality, creating jobs, skills, and generations of opportunity to build a strong bridge across Newark.
So the future, particularly under the mayor's leadership, is very, very positive, and we think MetroLab has a responsibility to help not only the city, but the state, and we've recently continued to be recognized as a driver for economic development. Last year, we had an economic impact of $1.74 billion. So we are a major player in technology as an educational institution, as a research partner, and as a partner for the city of Newark.
Newark is on the move. It is experimenting. It is innovating. It is transforming into a 21st century smart city. Join our innovators as Newark embraces technology and implements real-world solutions. Learn more at NJII.com.
So that's the starting point of our message today. In May of this year, Newark and NJII were formally inducted into the MetroLab network, which is President Obama's formal program for smart cities around the country. At the time, we joined 34 other city-university relationships around the country, really mission to catalyze innovation and prepare our cities for the next generations going forward. At this point, I'm very pleased to announce actually the gentleman who called us in May to let us know we were inducted into the MetroLab network, the Executive Director of MetroLab Network in Washington, Ben Levine.
Thank you, Tom. And I just want to acknowledge the folks here in Newark who have been so instrumental in pushing forward this partnership, including Mayor Baraka, Deputy Mayor Adolfo Wilson, Seth Weiner, and the team from NJIT and NJII, President Bloom, Don Sebastian, and Tom. I figured I would give kind of an overview of kind of why MetroLab Network was spawned and talk a little bit about what we're doing, and then maybe reflect a little bit about what I see here in Newark, which I think is really exciting. So MetroLab Network was formed as part of the White House Smart Cities Initiative last year. And the Smart Cities Initiative was essentially an effort by the president and his administration to bring together a bunch of new federal funding opportunities and kind of outside collaborations that were focused on how to bring data analytics and innovation to city government. And the MetroLab program was basically a concept that that cities now face incredible opportunity because of digital and information technology. And those opportunities are going to fundamentally change the way that cities deliver services, the ways that they manage their infrastructure, the ways they monitor and manage their natural environments. And unlike the private sector, perhaps, which has mechanisms to invest in research and development, cities don't necessarily have huge teams that can invest in innovation. And the concept of MetroLab Network was that there's a perfect marriage between cities which have test beds to test technologies. They have problems, they have challenges, they have opportunities associated with dealing with their complex mandate to deliver services and make people's lives better off in a community. And universities have incredible resources and knowledge about technology, about innovation, about data analytics, and so forth. And so the idea is that the marriage between cities and universities is sort of a perfect opportunity for local communities. I think as one thinks about the many types of ways that city government will change, I think that the programs that you're going to hear about today will sort of start to seed those ideas. But if you compare what's happening in the public sector to perhaps the private sector, I think that you would notice that where industries have changed fundamentally, so Audible.com, which is headquartered down the street here, has totally changed the way that books are delivered to people. And I think we wouldn't necessarily be able to say the same thing about the way that city government delivers services today. And that's partly because of the complexity, but I think partly because these types of partnerships are just taking root. So MetroLab Network is a network of nearly 40 now city-university partnerships, includes some county university partnerships, and includes many of the leading cities across the country. And I'll just give a flavor of sort of some of the things that are happening across the network. So if you go on our website, you can explore 120 what we call research, development, and deployment projects, which are these projects where universities essentially incubate technologies and deploy them in cities. And you'll find that there are a number of efforts across many different government functions, but I'll just focus on a few. There's a lot of work happening around water and green infrastructure, and so related to both the sensing of how green infrastructure functions. So green infrastructure are above-ground facilities that absorb stormwater when there are rain events and prevent water from going into sometimes combined sewer overflow systems, causing pollution in rivers and in oceans. And so a lot of the work happening in MetroLab Network, or some of the work, is around how do we sense the effectiveness of green infrastructure? How do we make underground infrastructure? How do we take sewers and water pipes and make them dynamic systems that can use robotics and pumps to essentially act as a distributed system to increase capacity? So that's one area. There's a lot of work happening in transportation. How do we make traffic signals more dynamic? How do we make traffic signals actually know how many cars are approaching and create a system of traffic management that's actually responsive to usage? There's projects around the sensing of air quality and sort of putting in what we call urban instrumentation, but the idea of putting little sensors around a community so you can detect air quality, flooding, vehicle and pedestrian traffic, and then how do you use those technologies to then inform government or inform policy decisions. Finally, there's a lot of work happening around sort of the nexus of data analytics and human services. So how do technology platforms or software platforms help cities or counties manage issues around homelessness or foster care? How can disparate data systems that may not have talked before easily be integrated? So that's just a flavor of what's happening, and I'm really excited about the contributions that are happening here in Newark to add kind of robustness to that broad library of really innovative projects across the country. I thought I would touch on kind of why I think what's happening in Newark is particularly special. I have the unique perspective of looking across these city-university partnerships, and I can say definitively that this type of program where industry and city government and university are all coming together at the start to say we are going to plan something big is not the way that all cities and universities have approached this, and this model is the right model. And we're really excited that there's buy-in at the mayor's level, there's buy-in at the university leadership level, and there's a ton of folks on the ground who are really contributing to what will be a robust city, university, and industry partnership. And so I think that type of structure will pay dividends for the type of work that's happening in Newark. So anyways, I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to hearing about some of the projects that are happening on the ground. And I'm thrilled that Newark and NJII and NJIT joined MetroLab Network, and look forward to all your continued contributions in this space. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. So the fact of the matter is we are truly in a technology revolution now. I think Ben mentioned just a few of the solutions, but those solutions as an underpinning have technologies in big data, data analytics, wireless networks, microelectronics, sensor and actuator technologies. They're all forming the technology foundation by which many of these solutions are feasible for the first time. So what exactly is a smart city, and how does one go about creating one over time? To help us answer that question, let me introduce the president of New Jersey Innovation Institute, Dr. Donald Sebastian.
Wow, thank you. And thank you all for attending today. This is a very exciting day for us. Before I begin, let me recognize that in addition to the wonderful slate of speakers that we have here, we have a number of other distinguished guests. Two of our NJIT trustees, Peter Sestero, formerly of PSE&G, and Liz Garcia of Infinium. Greg Soder is a member of our Board of Overseers, and the founder of Smart City Works, and a long career with AECOM before that. We have David Chang, President Emeritus of our good friend and neighbor Poly across the way, all here to help us as we make this migration into a very important future. It is a celebration of the future, but it's also a recognition of Newark's important role in the creation of industrial America. We all have grown up with Silicon Valley, but if you were to dial it back to the 1880s, this was Silicon Valley. Newark and North Jersey were really the hub of innovation that created most of the anchor industries of America. And I could go on for hours, which I don't have, but think about electric, light, and power, beginning with not just Thomas Edison, who, by the way, his first 3 factories were his initial invention, the stock ticker tape, were here in Newark. If you go down and hoist an ale at the Edison Ale House across the street from the Prudential Center, that was his last factory and his first R&D center. He sold that invention and moved on out to Menlo Park, where he became the Wizard of Menlo Park. He had competitors in that space, and Edward Weston, who was a founder of this university, along with other area industrialists in 1881, was also one who created an electric light and a power generation system, and he was lighting up Military Park, downtown Newark, about the time that Edison was lighting it up in downtown Manhattan, and also had the contract to be the first lighting when the Brooklyn Bridge opened. Pharmaceuticals, petrochemicals, medical device technology, the list goes on. Plastics and polymers, many of these things were initiated and grew up here. I'd like to focus on electric power because I think there are important parallels between what happened then and what we believe is happening as we enter into the age of the Internet of Things. History will look back and it will find some year where IoT began. But when you look at how things began in the past, you realize there's a continuum. Things diffused in, they grew to a peak, and then they became commonly accepted. So the fact is IoT has already begun to happen in and around us, but we think it's about to explode, much as in the age of Edison and Weston, electric power transformed almost everything you could imagine. Because once you had central power generation and distribution, you had reliable current of a known voltage and frequency. You had plugs that were the same no matter where you went, and sockets and switches. Now people began to rely on it, and you began to see things like ice boxes became refrigerators, coal stoves and wood stoves became electric ranges, horse-drawn trolleys became electric cars, and on and on and on. Almost every imaginable commercial product became transformed because of the infrastructure that was perhaps in the end far more important than the electric light bulb itself, the infrastructure for power generation. Well, we're now in that age, having watched digital technology grow up in our lifetime, from the 1930s when Bell Labs had one of the first digital logic circuits, to its incorporation and growth of computing, the growth of wireless communications from the days of Marconi and David Sarnoff and RCA Labs, turning that into the basis of our commercial broadcast system, the growth of digital computing and software, a lot of that which again happened with solid-state electronics developed at Bell Labs, all of these things that nucleated here. We now have an age where no matter where you stand, you have faster connectivity to information resources than accessing information off of a floppy drive in the early days of PC computing. You have compute power that's almost unimaginable. We all know that the phones that we walk around with have more power than the entire computing systems that put a man on the moon in 1969. So we have powerful software, we have cloud computing, and we have wireless connectivity and sensor technology that now is about to unleash unimaginable power. Unimaginable power that we think can be transformational to make our urban centers have a high quality of life for all of its residents. And for the residents that are about to come, as we know the millennials seek to come back from the burbs and into Center City. It's an exciting time, but it's one that will only be harnessed if we start now to see what works, what doesn't work, frankly, what makes money and what can't make money. And we think the best way to do that is to create an open demonstration environment, an open integration environment that attracts the entrepreneurial types to flock here and plug and play into the world that we create. We're fortunate to have a long history, as universities go, in the business of incubation. Right beyond the flags in the gym across Lock Street, we have the Enterprise Development Center. We have over 95 companies, startups, working across a wide variety of technology areas, which include growth companies interested in the Internet of Things. And we have one I'd like to bring to your attention today. It's a company that's a competitor for Google Glasses. You've heard of these before, I think, right? They look kind of like one-eyed cyborg glasses, integrated camera, communications that links to your phone. These are called shades, Hollywood. But shades have one important thing that Google Glass don't have. They have time travel. And with this feature, I'm going to let you see not what will smart city look like in some abstract 2050. What could it look like in 5 years from now if we begin to harness all of this technology and put it all together? What might that do to urban life? So with that, shades, take me to Newark 2021, please.
Time coordinates set for +5 years. Activating time transport sequence. Transport in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I didn't realize how late it's gotten. I have an interview at edible.com in 15 minutes, and I really want this job. Okay, Shades, what's my driving time to Edible's offices on Broad Street?
Downtown traffic is at a standstill. City water sensors indicate that there is a water main break on Market Street. Here is the police traffic drone view. I recommend taking a taxi to Broad Street Station and the light rail to Washington Park. You can then walk 2 blocks to your destination.
Okay, Shades, call me a Goober taxi.
I have placed the order and driver R2 is responding to your request. He will be here momentarily. Because of the congestion, Goober fares show a surge pricing of 1.25. Is that acceptable?
Yes, of course. A few extra dollars won't matter if I get this job. Accept the fare, please.
Your Goober taxi has arrived and is waiting out front.
Right, I see it now. Let's go, R2. There's a 5-star rating in it for you if we catch the next train.
Driver R2 says, I'm on it, boss, but you need to pay the ticket if we get pinched by the speed bot.
Don't worry, you're not the droid they're looking for.
Driver R2 says, buckle up and hang on, it's going to be a bumpy ride.
I was in such a rush to get going that I think I forgot to lock the front door on the way out. Okay, Shades, check the status of my front door lock, please.
I am checking now. Keo reports that the main door is currently unlocked.
Okay, Shades, set main door status to locked.
Keo reports that the main door is now locked and there have been no entries since your departure.
That's a relief. Okay, Shades, how much longer to the next downtown train from Broad Street?
I am checking now. The next train will arrive at the station in 1 minute and 45 seconds. You have a new message from the Newark Parking Authority.
Your car has been detected in the street sweeping zone on James Street. Please move it immediately to avoid a fine and towing charges.
Okay, Shades, show me open parking spots within a 1-block drive of my car's current location.
I am checking now. There are currently 4 spots open on Eagles Street. Here is a map.
Okay, Shades, connect me to my car's onboard pilot system.
Sync drive activated.
Okay, car, move your location to the first open spot on Eagle Street.
Move request acknowledged. Autopilot engaged.
How much longer to the next downtown train from Broad Street?
The next train will arrive at the station in 1 minute.
Move complete. Autopilot disengaged. Sync deactivating.
Your car is parked in an auto-metered spot. The rate is $1 per hour. It will be billed to your Easy Park account. Thank you.
We should be close to the station now. Okay, Shades, how much more time until the train arrives?
The next train will arrive at the station in 20 seconds.
I can see it coming now. I need to run for it, or I won't make it. The next train isn't for 10 minutes, and then I'll be late. R2, you can let me out here, and thanks for the speedy service.
Thank you for using Uber Taxi. Please take a moment to rate our driver.
Okay, Shade, now. I need to run for it, or I won't make it. The next train isn't for 10 minutes, and then I'll be late. R2. Wow, just made it.
Easy Rail entry recorded at Broad Street Station.
I'm so glad they got rid of that old ticketing system. I would never have made this train if I had to buy a ticket and timestamp it before I got on.
Riverfront Stadium is the next station. Your stop is Washington Park Station. You will arrive at your stop in approximately 2 minutes.
Listen to that. I wonder what's going on in the stadium today. Okay, Shades, show me the live video stream from Riverfront Stadium.
Connecting now.
Walk-off home run. Way to go, Highlanders. I haven't seen a game in ages. I wonder when they play next. Okay, Shades, show me the Highlander baseball schedule for this week.
Searching now.
Oh, good. They're playing a conference game with North Florida tomorrow. That may decide the Atlantic Sun pennant. I hope it's not sold out already. Okay, Shades, show me available seating for the North Florida game tomorrow night.
Searching now.
I see all the field level boxes are sold out already. Section 113 looks like the best available seats on the home team side. Okay, Shades, show me the field view from Section 113.
Searching now.
Looks good. Okay, Shades, reserve 2 seats for tomorrow night's game and charge it to my NatX account.
Transaction complete. Here is your receipt. Washington Park Station is the next stop. Please prepare to depart the train.
Mahler Florist wants to remind you to buy roses for your anniversary next week. We have a special sale on the coral roses that are your wife's favorite.
You are arriving at Washington Park Station. Please exit the train and turn to your left.
Easy Rail exit recorded at Washington Park Station. 75-cent one-way fare has been billed to your account. Thank you for riding New Jersey Light Rail. Have a nice day.
Okay, Shades, where do I go now?
Walk to the intersection ahead. Turn left and cross Broad Street. Excuse me, you have a time-sensitive message from Public Service Gas and Electric.
Your REST thermostat indicates that your house has been unoccupied for 15 minutes. May we adjust the temperature to conserve energy?
Oh, of course. I was in such a rush to get this interview that I forgot to set it back when I left. Okay, Shades, connect to my REST control system.
Connecting now.
REST thermostat awaiting your instructions, sir.
Okay, REST. Grant control to PSGE until I return home tonight.
Thermostat now set to external override mode, and the utility has been granted access. Do travel safely and see you tonight, sir.
Your health record shows that you are due for a flu shot. Our medical offices are open late tonight. We accept Horizon insurance, with no copay.
Okay, Shades. Put a reminder on my calendar to make an appointment with Dr. Ortez as soon as you can fit it in.
Your appointment is confirmed for next Tuesday at 9 in the morning.
Your destination is directly across the street. You have a call from Mr. Waverley's office.
Mr. Waverley is unable to meet with you today. However, he asked me to tell you that after reviewing all the candidates, you were the only one with the qualifications he was seeking. Our Human Resources Department will be in touch with you tomorrow with an offer, and he hopes that you can start work immediately. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, that's never happened to me before. Time to celebrate. Okay, Shades, show me the route to the nearest tavern.
You have several friends at the Edson Tap Room. You can be there in 10 minutes.
On second thought, I'd rather be with my family. They should all be home by now. Okay, Shades, call me a Goober taxi.
You are a Goober taxi.
Real funny. Now you're a comedian. Never mind all that. Just get me home. What? You think it's tough traveling economy class. Okay. So, is it just a flight of fancy? Yogi Berra said it's tough to make predictions, especially about the future. But in this case, I will tell you that virtually everything that you saw in that video exists as a product, a service, or something that's in development. Whether it'll happen or not depends largely on our ability to put these pieces together. We all know that autonomous or self-driving cars, all the commercial manufacturers claim they'll have these by 2021. Not that far away. And that, in fact, Uber is working with Google on an unmanned or self-driving taxi cab system. The Nest thermostat already exists, as do some competitors, and several types of Wi-Fi connected front door locks. Not only will tell you your status, but have a camera, so you can tell who's at your front door even if you're not in your home. The interaction with the rail system, something we've talked about to NJ Transit, of having a facial recognition identity system to complement the ticketing system to avoid fare beaters, but in the end it also then becomes a convenience. All the different models of location-aware commerce, where as you drive by things or walk by things, you're getting information presumably of interest to you, things that you're interested in, whether it was what's going on in the stadium, what should I be buying for my anniversary, or the fact that I need to take care of my health. All of these things pushed in real time based on my preferences and my interests. And all of the navigation, all those tools exist. That future, I believe, will go to those who are able to put these pieces together to make a coherent set. You know, most of us, as I look around, live through the growth of the bubble and then the burst of the dot-com bubble. And I would argue that in that era, we foolishly put anything on the internet as a business, whether it made sense on the internet or not. And that billions were lost by people who were not able to discriminate whether or not these ideas could in fact grow to become substantial businesses. And how could they? Because in the world of software, we don't have the idea of scaling that many other engineering professions have, of where you continually grow and test something before you actually bring it to market. So in a sense, what we're proposing here, our service and our contribution to Smart City, is to create a large-scale demonstration environment, a place where we have all the different modalities of wireless communication, from the low-end frequencies that have been abandoned by broadcast television and radio, all the way up to the next generation 5G, connecting to Newark's rich fiber optic backhaul, connecting through products like our friends from Juniper with a universal interface into the cloud, connecting to partners like IBM with Watson Data Analytics, Nokia Bell Labs with advanced video analytics. All of these things become robust services that allow an IoT developer to plug into that world and see not only does it work, does it make technical sense, but would anybody pay for it? Does it make dollars and cents? We think that when you put those two together, now you have a very compelling argument for bringing these ideas forward. And in the process, we transform our city. Not rebranding, but reclaiming the brand that we always proudly had as a center of the U.S. industrial economy that really even goes back to the days of Hamilton and his selection of Patterson as the first industrial site for America. That, we think, is a wonderful and rich future for our city, and a place that then becomes transformational for the nation, and a strong attraction not just for people to relocate here, their businesses, but really to build and grow the entire economy in the residential community. That's our hope and our aspiration. It's enough for me to talk about it. We're blessed today to have the people from both government and industry who are making it happen. And it's my privilege now to turn the podium back to Mike, to Tom, turn the mic back to Tom, so that we can introduce the players that are already assembled to get behind this vision. Thank you all.
Thank you, Don. So today we are announcing the program, the MetroLab at Newark, to borrow the branding from Washington. This will be an open smart city testbed, and will essentially take the community of innovators and developers that we have collaborated with so far and expand that and bringing ideas and solutions that make a difference in Newark. At this point, let me introduce the Deputy Mayor of the City of Newark. I'm very happy to introduce Baye Adolfo Wilson.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm the Deputy Mayor and Director of Economic Development. My name is Baye Adolfo Wilson, and I'm really just excited to be here. This is an amazing project. Unfortunately, our Honorable Mayor Raj J. Baraka couldn't be here, so he asked me to sort of come in just to sort of give you a welcome and let you know how important and significant this project is to the city. Newark is sort of known for its infrastructures, whether it's the port, whether it's the airport, our train rail infrastructure in terms of Penn Station, Broad Street Station, the light rail, the city subway, our education infrastructure, as well as medical and arts and culture. This sort of innovation, smart city innovation, is important as any of those infrastructures, because it really is a building upon what makes the city of Newark important and significant for New Jersey, but also through the region and nationally. And it's something that we are pursuing aggressively. And I get the sort of I'm sort of lucky in the way I get the opportunity to sort of to introduce new projects all the time, whether there's development projects or educational projects. I get the opportunity to sort of participate in them. This one really is one of the most exciting and creative, because if we don't have any new ideas, we're not going anywhere. And the notion that the city can be a smart city at the forefront of innovation is exactly what it is, because there's new problems that pop up all the time. But having the intelligence and the population to really answer those questions is really what will continue to help us grow and prosper. And it's also something that makes the city exciting and fun. And I think that this is one of those innovations. Cities throughout the country are really competing to bring in high-tech companies, and we're blessed to have sort of NJIT and the Institute here to really be at that forefront, to really help us continue to sort of get to the front and sort of be able to have an analysis of it. This sort of notion that the idea that we're going to just be a continuous sort of test bed for these ideas. You know, what's also sort of important and exciting about this is that you know, this sort of location, this idea, it's really at the center of everything that's happening in New Jersey now. And we're sort of, you know, oftentimes when I deal with the state, we're sort of, we sort of have to deal with the state in a way where there's like, you know, you guys, there's like 530 municipalities in the state, but there's really just one Newark. There's only one that's the largest. So all the time when we have a challenge with the state, we're trying to sort of present them with the challenge, and they're like, well, no one else does that. I'm like, well, no one else is Newark. You know, like no one else is the big city with the airport and the port and the education infrastructure and this, and sort of, so we're always, you know, I feel like because of the folks here, we're always, I feel like a step ahead of them, you know, in terms of trying to presenting those ideas. And so this allows us, once again, to be at the forefront, to have on the streets a level of innovation and expertise that's at everyone's fingertips, that's going to be unparalleled in the state. And that's important because we're always, you know, the state's, we're competing for residents and competing for businesses, but we also just want it to be a place where people want to be. The MetroLabs program and the team with NJIT in the city, you know, I think it's unparalleled. I think it's really something that we should be proud of, and that we can look to, I think, model not just in this field, but in other fields as well, and other projects. So the public-private educational partnership that we have here is something that hopefully we can take as an example of how we are innovative, because we can always use the expertise in every other field. As I mentioned, the mayor is not able to be here today, but he did send us a video of his presentation, so I'm just going to let you hear in his own words how he feels about the program. Thank you.
Hello, this is Mayor Raz Baraka. I'm here on Hawthorne Avenue at the groundbreaking of the Newark Tech Academy here in collaboration with the National Action Network and Panasonic. We are opening up the tech world to hundreds and thousands of young people here in the city of Newark, giving them the opportunity to have direct access to the future, direct access to what Newark is going to be. Newark 3.0, a city, a smart city that's completely driven by our incredible infrastructure of fiber under the ground here. So we are already number one in transportation. We're already number one in communication in the state, already number one in the amount of college students that we have in this area. Now we're number one in the tech infrastructure that's available to anybody in this region right here in the city of Newark. Fastest Wi-Fi. It's a place to be for all tech startups, for all millennials. It's a fun, cool spot to hang out in the city of Newark, and also an incredible place to build your business, to grow the economy, and to live your life here in a great and growing city of Newark. We're talking about opportunities where, you know, where they're talking about doing everything online or everything through tech or everything through coding. Newark will be there at the forefront. We'll be ahead of many, many, many folks because we're starting right now. That's what Newark 3.0 means to me. It means bigger, better, badder, faster Newark, where everyone is attached. You know, it makes democracy that much wider, that much bigger, that much more effective because it'll go in everybody's home, everybody's hand, everybody's pocket. Take the supercomputer out of your pocket, your phone, and use it to attach yourself to a growing and growing city. So have fun here in the city of Newark. Be a part of what it is that we're trying to do. Newark 3.0 is going to be the first one in this region to take cities to a place where they've never been before.
So we've heard from the city, we've heard from NJII. There is a critical third leg of the stool here in the program, and that's the private businesses. These private businesses not only bring a great deal of innovation and technology, but also, I think, share a passion to improving people's lives in cities around the world. We are pleased to announce many of these companies have joined us in the MetroLab at Newark program. Many of them are here with us today. I'd like to just mention them quickly. We have Nokia Bell Labs, the IBM Corporation, Juniper Networks, Panasonic, Lutron Electronics, Aptinet, 4.0 Analytics, Arcados, Gomo Health, and Numina. Now, it's a very diverse set of companies. Some of them are large, very large. Some of them are not so large. Some of them have very specific solutions that are very targeted at an area of city life. And others have technology solutions that really form a platform by which multiple solutions can be run on top of. I can tell you, though, it is a great group to collaborate with, and we're very happy to have them here. I encourage you all to, after the speaking part of this event, to reach out and talk to some of them in the back. Some of them have demos and would be happy to talk to you. At this point, let me introduce one of the thought leaders for the partner Nokia Bell Labs. Ladies and gentlemen, the Director of Video Research, Mr. Paul Wilford.
Thank you. And on behalf of my Nokia colleagues, we're very pleased to be part of this kickoff. Dan mentioned a little bit of the history of Bell Labs. And as I reflected on that, Bell Labs has been part of the New Jersey creative technology fabric since 1925. So that's 90 plus years. So I think it's very appropriate we're a part of this initiative. I was talking with Liz a little bit about Bell Labs' recent corporate history. As many of you know, we were part of Lucent for many years, and then Alcatel, and now part of Nokia. And that gives us a broader spectrum than I think we've ever had before. And in fact, Bell Labs now is bigger than it's ever been in our history. And I think this means a couple things to this partnership. First of all, with this broader scope, we're in many more fields. So this gives us the opportunity to have our technology make a positive impact on society in a way that's never done before. And smart cities has been defined by our CEO as one of our corporate initiatives. Secondly, our vision has changed a little bit, or maybe we've gotten back to our roots in some sense. For the recent years, our focus has been making on Lucent or Alcatel products better from a technology perspective. Now our focus is broader. Our president has asked us to think about what we can do in the market, what we can do to make humanity better. And smart cities is certainly key in that initiative. As Tom mentioned, our particular research is focused on video analytics. We're interested in the problem of how do you understand signals from thousands and thousands of cameras. There's pretty good science to understand one camera, but to make a smart city, we have to look at thousands of cameras. And we consider that problem jointly. We think there's a lot of rich information to mine. We're a leader in 4G and 5G technology, and something that is called Edge Cloud, which is a new cloud architecture that makes something like analytics possible to be run efficiently and securely in the network. And finally, we're interested in generally the topic of data reduction and how to manage the kind of data streams that would be in a smart city in an efficient and secure fashion. So again, we're very grateful to be part of this, and we're excited about seeing technology be part of what we're trying to do here collectively. So thank you. We have a display and a demo in the back. You're welcome to come visit us after this session.
Thank you, Paul. So at this point, I think it's important that we render some of this explicit for you and show you an actual example of what we're talking about from a project standpoint. To help me with this, let me introduce the CEO of the Newark Downtown District, Mr. Anthony McMillan. Anthony, called away? Okay, Anthony has been called off for a minute. Let me, at this point, we'll come back to Anthony, but at this point, let me, as I said, render something explicit for you. We're going to talk about our first project. So let me introduce, to help make that a reality for you, let me introduce the CIO of the City of Newark, Seth Wayner, and the President of Aptonet Corporation, Ali Faraji.
Hello? Hello, hello? I'm very excited.
Okay.
It's a big deal. As Vice President Biden once said, this is a big deal. All right. Ali, I think as I'm blabbing, I think you take the shades off. We got a little clip. This is very high tech. We've got going. All right. So, first, I just want to, you've heard a whole bunch of thank yous. I'll give you one more thank you. Thanks to the downtown district for putting this particular play together. No, take it all the way off. Let's go to town here. All right, good. Here we go. We're pros. We could do this. Look at that. That thing's beautiful. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's so cool. Okay. This is a big deal, all right? So what you've got in front of you is one of our big kind of showpiece initiatives of the MetroLab partnership. This is our brand Newark kiosk initiative. It's got a brand Newark app that's going to go right in your phone, so as you're walking around, you can also be one of these amazing pieces of the smart city, as you go about your way. And we knew that this was really important because we knew that in order to be relevant, right, in order to fulfill the mandate of really improving the lives of residents and being relevant to visitors and folks coming out of work and going to the train station, we had to be out there on the sidewalk, right? We had to take to the streets. And that's exactly what we've got starting right here. We've got the first of what will be a network of brand newer kiosks throughout the downtown and spreading into the neighborhoods. And as you see, I didn't even know, right? We've got this beautiful, the PSE&G Foundation sponsoring from the Barat Foundation. It's gorgeous, Wow, I got to go to that. And so that's the whole point of the kiosk initiative that we're rolling out, is to be more relevant and improve the lives of residents going forward. There's a very important piece of this as well, before I hand it off to Ali, who's going to talk a little bit about some of the key functionality, and that is that the infrastructure and the architecture that this is built upon is really very open. It's on Android, so you could think of it as the largest cell phone standing in the ground. And that means it can do, oh, look at that beautiful video. That's nice. It can do all the things that your phone has learned to do since you got upgraded for free to that smartphone, right? You were like, oh, I didn't know if I was going to do this. Ta-da. So this kiosk is going to have a couple of pieces of functionality that roll out now, and it'll have many more going forward that we're also really enthusiastic about. I want to make sure I didn't leave anything out. Ali, why don't you talk us through it?
I don't need a mic.
You don't need a mic.
No,
Ali
I
doesn't
can
need
talk
a mic.
like this. So, good afternoon. My name is Ali Faraji, and I'm a founder of Aptonet and one of the creators of this kiosk. I would like to thank everyone who's here today, as well as the City of Newark, NJIT, NJII, but also I would like to thank the people who really made this possible. And especially Newark Downtown District that quickly recognized the value that we are bringing into the City of Newark. And I also would like to extend a very warm welcome to the citizen of Newark for whom this project is undertaken. So here's the kiosk. As you can see, it's a centerpiece of today's event. It's a portal of the future, and it is not like any other kiosk that you have seen. This is, as Seth explained, it's a completely open environment. We have created here a living lab for all the innovators to come in and contribute to the project. So it's a portal of the future and offer you a new interactive structure. And the permanent installation of this is going to be located at Broad Street and Prudential Way, across from the park. And that's the first installation, and we're going to have many more throughout the city. So this first prototype, as you can see here, is not like other kiosks that you have seen. It's fully Android driven. Everything that is inside this kiosk is Android driven. And it's a smart city utility, which allows you to interact with the people. It takes us 2 years to develop this. And again, we are working on this to make it more complete. So I'm going to explain some of the functionality that it has. It's not only a kiosk, but it is a network hub. It's a communication center. It's a watchdog, and lots of other technology. all built in one. And the 22 inches screen that you see here, it allows you to do the browsing, although we have blocked the offensive sites that happened in New York when they were not blocking it. There's a local jazz station that you can play it, and while it's, if it goes to a screensaver, that local jazz station will be played. We have wayfindings and some offers that we're bringing into the citizen of the Newark as well. You can even take a selfie and send it to yourself, or eventually post it on this big screen. The winner will be posted on the big screen. That's Seth's ideas, by the way.
I got a lot of crazy ideas.
There are 2 cameras on either side of this and a camera mounted here. And we're collecting the data of that camera, along with the other data that we're collecting in here, to make Newark a proactive city and reactive to the event that is happening. So there is a lot of intellectual property has been built into this to do that, and we are planning to work with Nokia as well to make that smarter. So the 55-inch screens are, although you see some advertising here, the main purpose of that is for communication, sending messages to the people of the city and allowing other people to bring ideas to this kiosk. And there's a map, back to the screen there. If I can stand in front of this, I can click it. So there's a map for wayfinding, and there is, we have created a separate application, the mobile app, which is like your offers for the merchant to bring it into the citizen, and for the citizen to take it back to the merchant. But that is not only like another Groupon product, but it is mainly has contests in there for the citizen to join the contest, and other fun application built into that app. People will be able to join this contest, and presently PSE&G is allocating some prizes for the contest, so it will be something interesting to see. So thank you today for attending, and if you have any question, I'll be here to answer your question along with my partner, John Clyde. Seth, you can take it back.
Don insisted that I bring something up important, which is that at Prudential Drive and Broad Street is ironically the first location of the New Jersey Institute of Technology. So it's always Newark Technical School. It's always great when things come full circle, and the infrastructure that the city has and is going to bring to bear on the overall problems and solutions that we all can dream up together are right here. And this is the most visible piece of it, but there's plenty more to come, and there's plenty under the ground if you know where to look, and we're pumped. I think I'm going to hand it back to Tom and try to put this onto the street.
We are very proud of this. In case it didn't come out, this is really the foundation to a open smart city, and something that innovators can bring ideas, new applications, a new sensor to put in, a new idea for a city service. The inside, the way this is built, there is room inside to add these components going forward. We will work as part of the program, not only to invite those innovators to bring those ideas to the table, but also to implement them and test them over time. So long term, there'll be many of these throughout the city. They will provide free Wi-Fi for the citizens also, and we're really looking forward to the types of things that this will enable that we didn't even think about yet. That's really, I think, what makes this special for us. So thank you, Seth, Ali, all of our speakers today for, and your, actually all the partners also for your collaboration and support. Before we close, I do want to make sure that I don't forget to mention our youngest innovators, our students here at not only NJIT, but Rutgers and the universities. We are encouraging them to submit ideas and participate in this open lab also. As a matter of fact, we have a number of capstone projects currently underway with students developing applications for the kiosk here. So after all, they will be the next generation of residents in the city, so it only makes sense we get them to participate as well. That concludes the presentation portion of the event now. I'd ask that you meet our partners in the back, hear what they have to say, look at their demos, and also please follow us on social media and our website to check on updates and progress that we make over the coming months. Thank you all for coming. Have a good afternoon.